Samyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesh Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Vakalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramana Mamalam Prema Pumartha Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Dharana Paraha Anarpita Charim Chirat Karunaya Vatirna Kalau Samarpayitam Unnatojvala Rasam Swabhakti Shriyam Harihi Purata Sundara Dyuti Kadamba Sandipita Sadaridaya Kandare Spuradu Vashati Nandanaha. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jagat Mangala Advaita Mangala Gunadham Mangala Charitra Sada Mangala Charanam. Hare Krishna, we'd like to welcome all of our devotees, all of the devotees who have joined us over YouTube Live, over Facebook Live, and the dear devotees who have joined us over Zoom. We welcome each and every one of you. Hare Krishna. We welcome all of you to this day 77 of Shri Gauramrita. So before we proceed, we would like to announce and congratulate the participants from the quiz session from day 76. We'd like to congratulate Hari Prasad Prabhu, Mother Amrita Radhika, Anjudi, Vaijayanti Lalita Mataji, Nutan Purohit Mataji, Tithi Mitra Mataji, Varshana Chitra Mataji, and Ranjani Gopika Mataji. Thank you so much to all of you for so sincerely participating in the quiz session from the last time, from session 76. So today we are all missing Prabhu. As you can see, I'm alone here with all of you in all of your association. I cannot say I'm alone. I'm in all of your association. And Prabhu begs for forgiveness because he had an emergency meeting at work. So he's having to take care of that. So he will not be able to join us today, although he is present with us mentally, spiritually, he is present with us. So today, in session 77 of Shri Gauramrita, we will continue to describe the transcendental treasure trove of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotional pastimes. We'll describe the sweet pastimes of Lord Shri Gaura Sundar, on which he took upon on his journey towards Nilachal Dham, towards Shri Jagannath Puri, and Lord Gauranga today, how he arrives at the city of Bhuvaneshwar, how Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu takes darshan of the Shiva Linga. We'll discuss the glories of Lingeshwar Mahadev. Also, we will discuss of how Lord Gauranga takes special darshan of very special deities of Shri Ananta Vasudev, all at Bhuvaneshwar. And we will also talk about the glories of Kshetra. And we'll, of course, conclude today's session by describing the Phala Stuti, the benefits that we derive by listening to these transcendental pastimes of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So in our last session, we heard how Lord Gauranga, he had arrived at the village named Satyavadi, how Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu took darshan of this life-size deity of Sri Sakshi Gopal. And we heard directly from the lotus mouth of Lord Nityananda Ram the wondrous pastime of Sri Sakshi Gopal, who came himself all the way from Dham to bear witness to his dear devotees. So today we will continue. So Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, in his Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, describes as follows, that after visiting Sri Sakshi Gopal, Lord Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu then came to the city of Bhuvaneshwar. This city is actually known as Hidden Kashi, the residence of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva had himself collected waters from all the different holy places around the entire creation and brought them into Bhuvaneshwar. And with those tirtha water, he formed a lake which is famously known as Bindu Sarovara. Bindu Sarovar is a very famous little lake in Bhuvaneshwar, in the city of Bhuvaneshwar. And on the banks of this little kunda, like it's not really a lake, it's more like a pond, like a little kunda, Bindu Sarovara, and are these very famous temples. One is Lingeshwar Mahadev, and the other is Ananta Vasudev temple. So Lord Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he knew the significance of this Bindu Sarovar lake, and that this lake is very, very, very dear to Lord Shiva. So Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu took bath in this wonderful Bindu Sarovar, which further increased the auspiciousness of this wonderful tirtha. And the Linga form of Lord Shiva that is being worshipped here in this temple of Lord Shiva, it is a self-manifested deity. So Lord Gauranga, after he took his bath in the Bindu Sarovar temple, the Bindu Sarovar lake, then Lord Gauranga then first entered the Lingeshwar Mahadev temple. And then he started mingling with the devotees of Lord Shiva who were chanting loud praises to Lord Shiva. And this temple is famously known as Lingeshwar Mahadev temple. So the Linga, Lord Gauranga saw that the Linga was very beautifully surrounded by small, small ghee lamps which were lit, very, very devotionally lit by the devotees who were coming to visit the temple. Lord Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu was so pleased to see the opulence of his beloved devotee Lord Shiva, and how wonderfully that the devotees of Lord Shiva were ardently worshipping Lord Shiva. Gauranga Mahaprabhu was very pleased. The Lord's associates, Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Prabhu, Haridas, everyone who were there with Lord Chaitanya, they were also very happy in that wonderful devotional atmosphere. It is said that Lord Shiva, he is Param Vaishnava. He is Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, who is always immersed in meditation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which makes him relish the nectar of devotional service. And he's always in ecstasy, always unmada. He's always in ecstasy, chanting the glories of the holy names of the Lord. So now imagine how Lord Shiva is feeling that the Lord whom he worships, the Lord whom he meditates on, has come to visit him in the form of Sri Gaura Sundara. That his master, Lord Shiva's master, is dancing ecstatically in front of him. It is impossible by words. Vrindavan Das Thakur is explaining that it is impossible by mere words to explain the ecstatic bliss that Lord Shiva was feeling when he was watching and he was drinking the nectar of the golden body of Lord Gauranga, dancing in ecstasy. So the Lord and his associates, they spent the night in the Lingeshwar temple. And then Nityananda Prabhu, of course, who knows the glories of these places. Nityananda Prabhu started describing from Skanda Purana how Lord Shiva actually found this place. And then he started describing it. Lord Nityananda himself said that this is what is described in the Skanda Purana, and he started narrating this wonderful pastime. Very, very special pastime. Please let us hear it very carefully. That what makes Lord Shiva so special? What is it that is so unique about Lord Shiva? And something very miraculous happens at the end of this pastime, which is a very, very, very important thing. So let us listen with rapt attention to what Lord Nityananda is quoting from Skanda Purana about this Lingeshwar Mahadev temple and this place called as Bhuvaneshwar. So Lord Shiva and his consort Parvati Devi, they were living very contentedly in this place called as Kashi for a very long time. And then after staying in Kashi for a long time, they went to Kailash and they left Kashi to be ruled over by the kings. Soon, a king named Kashi Raj ascended the throne of Kashi. And he was an ardent worshipper of Lord Shiva. Suddenly, by the will of destiny, this Kashi Raj, he lost everything in a war. He was determined to destroy his opponent in battle, who was none other than Shri Krishna himself. So this Leela took place in Dwapar Yuga, when Krishna was personally present here on this planet. So Kashi Raj was so insulted that Krishna won the battle. So with vengeance in his heart, he sat down to perform the most terrible of all austerities. He started meditating on Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, he is Ashutosh. He is easily pleased by his devotees. He immediately appeared before his devotee Kashi Raj and said, "What do you want? Ask me for any benediction." And Kashi Raj eagerly asked, he said, "I pray only for one boon from you, my Lord, that I may avenge my defeat and destroy Krishna in battle." Lord Shiva just smiled. But Lord Shiva, he's a magnanimous personality. No one can say how he will grace someone with his favor. Lord Shiva, Krishna himself says one time that Lord Shiva gives benedictions very easily. And what all Krishna has to do to take care of those benedictions, only Krishna knows that. So it's a very sweet thing that happens, a devotional exchange, a loving exchange that happens between Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna. The Lord Shiva just gives benediction. It may come to harm him only, but then Krishna comes to protect his pure devotees. So then Lord Shiva said, "Okay, my dear king, Kashi Raj, you have pleased me with your great austerities. So now you prepare for battle. My army of followers will be right behind you in the war. Let me see who is strong enough to defeat you. As soon as I am right behind you with my Pashupati weapon." So Lord Shiva didn't say that he's going to come and defeat Krishna, because that is impossible. But Lord Shiva, we'll see later what prompted him to go in this way. We'll see. It will be revealed. So when Kashi Raj heard this, that Lord Shiva is going to be right behind him in the battlefield, that time this foolish king Kashi Raj, he went to battle against Krishna. He was very confident. He was smiling and he was laughing in ecstasy, thinking that he's going to win the battle. But Lord Shiva, and he was accompanied by Lord Shiva and all of his followers, they followed the army of Kashi Raj. And Krishna, who is the super soul situated in everyone's heart, could immediately know what is happening. And Krishna just sent his Sudarshan. Krishna just sent his Sudarshan to destroy the enemy. So Krishna's Sudarshan, which is invincible, Sudarshana Mahajwala, Koti Surya Samaprabha, it is an invincible weapon of the personality of Godhead, Krishna. So it is invincible. It is so unchallenged. Sudarshan is so unchallenged. It went straight to Kashiraj and severed the head of Kashiraj from his body. Immediately, just one shot. He's gone. Kashiraj was gone. And then Sudarshan started destroying the city of Kashi and the city of Varanasi, which was the capital of Kashiraj. And this enraged Lord Shiva. And seeing that his abode was being plundered, Lord Shiva, not able to control his anger and not knowing that what he is doing in his anger, what did Lord Shiva do? Lord Shiva released his Pashupat weapon. We'll understand this. Why did Lord Shiva do all of this? Please, let's have a little patience. But then Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying that what can any other weapon in front of Sudarshan Chakra, whether it is Pashupatastra or whether it is Brahmastra, any weapon in front of Sudarshan is useless. What potency, what power can any other weapon have in front of Sudarshan? So the Pashupati weapon quickly retreated. As soon as he saw Pashupati weapon, just saw that Sudarshan is coming in front, Pashupati weapon just went back, it just retreated back in fear. It was totally fearful. So Sudarshan then went after Lord Shiva himself. Sudarshan started chasing behind Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva started fleeing from this awesome weapon of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the power and the heat that was emanating from Sudarshan was covering the entire world. And Lord Shiva had no place to hide. Lord Shiva, at that time when he was running, he found himself to be in the same predicament, in the same situation that Durvasa Muni was. When Sudarshan was released after him, after Durvasa, in protection of Ambarish Maharaj. So Durvasa Muni also was not able to be safe. And same thing, Lord Shiva was remembering, oh, what did I do? What did I do? Why did I go and challenge the Supreme Lord? How can I be so foolish? And Lord Shiva was running hither and thither. He didn't know where to go. Lord Shiva finally understood that he is now the victim of Sudarshana. And that only Krishna could protect him, nobody else. So then Lord Shiva, he realizing his mistake, he immediately just sat down and he started meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna, taking shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. And he began to offer beautiful prayers to the Lord. He said, all glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, the son of Mother Jashoda. My dear Lord, you're omnipresent and the shelter of all living entities. You give men both good intelligence and ill motivations. Very, very, very appropriate lines spoken by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is saying that Krishna, it is you who are giving ill motivations and also good intelligence also. Both is coming from you. It is we who have to choose which one we want to go after. So Lord Shiva is saying, I was foolish to go with the ill motivations. Please forgive me, my Lord. You never see the faults of others. Lord Shiva continued to pray that, my Lord, you never see the faults of others. And you're an ocean of compassion. You're the only well-wishing friend of all those who are suffering. You are the forgiver of all offenses. So kindly, my dear Lord, forgive my offenses because I have taken shelter at your lotus feet. So Krishna, being very, very pleased with Lord Shiva's sincere, heartfelt prayers, immediately called Sudarshan back and made his divine appearance in front of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva saw that Krishna just had a smita smile on him. He was not happy, very happy. Lord Shiva could make out that Krishna is not really happy with the way Lord Shiva had acted. So Lord Shiva saw that he just had a very faint smile. Krishna had a very faint smile, and his eyes were very stern. There was no, sometimes when we see someone who is angry, they may be having a little smile, but when we see the eyes, we can make out that they are having some anger. So Krishna's eyes were very stern and they were looking down upon Lord Shiva. And Krishna, when he appeared, Krishna never appears alone. He's always surrounded by his loving devotees, Bhakta Pariveshita. So Krishna was surrounded by his cowherd boyfriends and the damsels and the Vrajavadhus of Vrindavan. And Krishna told Lord Shiva that, my dear Shiva, you are well aware of my position and power. So what suddenly happened to you that you acted like this? Why did you do this? This is the question that is coming to all of our minds, that Lord Shiva is Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. He is Param Vaishnava. Then why did Lord Shiva come and attack Krishna? Why did he do that? So then Kashiraj, Lord Krishna continued to say that degraded king, Kashiraj, he's no better than a little insect. And I just squished him with my Sudarshan. But siding him, you were fighting with me? And now you have seen, you witnessed what my Sudarshan can do. And even the most powerful weapons of Lord Brahma, which is the Brahmastra, and your weapon, which is the Pashupatastra, even put together is no match for my Sudarshan. So you can never win with me. I don't know why. Why did you even think of attacking me and siding with that person, Kashiraj? So then Krishna made a very sarcastic comment to Lord Shiva. Krishna said, that now I'm feeling that there is no one in the entire creation who dislikes me more than you, Lord Shiva. You think that I'm your greatest enemy, right? That's why you acted like this. So when Lord Shiva, when he heard these somewhat angry words of chastisement, Lord Shiva started feeling very guilty. And Lord Shiva just threw himself like a stick to the ground and caught hold of Krishna's lotus feet. Surrendering himself to Krishna, Lord Shiva said, my dear Lord, the entire creation is actually subservient to your will. Who can claim to act independently? I did not act independently, my Lord. So just as dry straws are blown away by the wind, the entire material nature bends down to your command, is blown away by your command. Everyone just executes your wishes. There is no one who can disobey your biddings, my Lord. Somehow, my Lord, you gave me this feeling of false pride that crept into me. And I was blinded by this false pride. And I was unable to see anything else but myself being big and powerful. So Lord Nityananda Ram, he started explaining that you see, Krishna, he always uses his dear devotees to show to the world how to act. And he also uses his beloved devotees to show to the world how not to act. So we know in the case of Pitama Bhishma, how Krishna, Pitama Bhishma is one of the 12 Mahajans, but still he was on the side of Adharma, he was on the side of Duryodhana. And even though Pitama Bhishma is an invincible warrior, he's a pure devotee of the Lord, yet he lost in the battle of Kurukshetra. So this is what Krishna is teaching, that even though we may be the devotees of Krishna, but if we are on the side of untruthfulness, if we are on the side of deceit, if we are on the side of adharma, then we will not be saved by the Lord. We will never be victorious. This is how Krishna chose Pitama Bhishma to teach the lesson to all of us. That it's not that, some devotees think, oh, when we are devotees, anything we do is okay. No, it's not okay. One time, Srila Prabhupada, he was in New Vrindavan. And New Vrindavan in West Virginia, they were just establishing the farm community. Beautiful temple in the hills of West Virginia. Srila Prabhupada named it as New Vrindavan. And Srila Prabhupada one day was taking a morning walk. And when he was taking the morning walk, some of his disciples were there. And then Srila Prabhupada saw in one of the neighbors' homes, there were beautifully blossomed flowers. And Srila Prabhupada said, oh, such nice flowers. And then one devotee just went and plucked all the flowers. And Srila Prabhupada actually chastised that devotee. Srila Prabhupada said that, why did you pluck the flowers without the permission of the owner? And then that devotee said, well, Srila Prabhupada, Krishna is the supreme. He is the Lord of everything. So Krishna, this is Krishna's. I'm just offering the flower to Krishna. Why should I take permission from anyone? But Srila Prabhupada said that no. Yes, Krishna indeed is the proprietor of everything. But he has placed these flowers under the care of this particular person who owns this place. So it would be very inappropriate for us, even though we want it for the service of the Supreme Lord, we must take permission under whose care those flowers have been placed by Krishna himself. This is the mood of Srila Prabhupada. That Srila Prabhupada wanted each and every person who is a Hare Krishna devotee, that we must be morally upright also. Perfect gentleman and a perfect gentle lady, Srila Prabhupada said. Srila Prabhupada, many times he made the statement that this Krishna consciousness movement is to make proper gentlemen and proper gentle ladies. That is the purpose of this Krishna consciousness movement. So when we see things like this, that yes, it is not okay for devotees as devotees to just do anything even immoral. Some things as lying, or some things as just propagating false, propaganda. Doing all these things, it's not nice. No. As devotees, we must be very, 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 very careful, because we are not just ourselves. We must remember that when we are doing this, we are actually, as devotees, we are representing our spiritual master, we are representing Srila Prabhupada, we are representing the entire parampara, and thus we are representing Krishna himself. So how we are acting is reflecting upon Krishna himself. It is reflecting upon our Guru Vargas. So it's very, very, very important how we act. So therefore, Krishna is teaching. He taught us through the life of Pitama Bhishma. Now he is teaching us through the life of his glorious devotee, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, the greatest of all Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva himself. Krishna is teaching us this greatest lesson, that if we want to really serve Krishna, we must never think that we have outgrown the mercy of Krishna. That because it's very easy for pride to come in. It's very easy to start thinking, oh yes, I have achieved something in life. Now it is okay for me to take some worship from some people. Oh, some people are worshipping me, so I can go and bless them. That is a danger. Always a devotee stays very, very humble. Whatever glorification, whatever good comes to a Vaishnava passes it on to their Guru Vargas. They don't keep anything for themselves, any of the good for themselves. They pass on all the good that they receive. They pass it on to the Vaishnavas, before them to their Guru Vargas. That is a genuine Vaishnava. So that was the pitfall of Lord Shiva. Because Kashiraj worshipped him and said that, my dear Lord, you are my only protector, you are my only shelter. Lord Shiva started thinking, yes, it's true. Yes, I will protect you. This is a mistake. So therefore, Lord Shiva is saying, I was blinded by you, my Lord. I was blinded because you also needed to teach your devotees this lesson. And I'm so grateful that you took me as an instrument to show this to the world, to demonstrate how dangerous false ego can be, how dangerous pride can be. So this is the humility of Lord Shiva. Just see the humility. That, of course, it is one thing to commit a mistake, but it is another thing to actually come forth and accept that mistake to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's very, very important. That makes that personality glorious. Lord Shiva continued that I am helpless, my Lord, since it is you who made me think in this manner. Your lotus feet are always, they were, and they will always continue to be my life and soul. So yet, you churned out this mood of arrogance that was ingrained in me. You see, when we churn yogurt, after churning, what comes? Butter comes. So, but when we are first starting to churn, the churning process starts. There's some impurities also that come out first. And end, the nectar comes. So, Lord Shiva is saying, my dear Lord, you have churned me and taken out all this negativities of pride and arrogance. You've taken out all of that from me. What can I do? I just acted as you desired. And in spite of everything, I have committed serious offense at your lotus feet. So I'm just begging you, my Lord, please forgive me and bless me with your mercy. And I pray to you for this boon that I may never again develop such evil intelligence, my Lord. I have been rightly punished by you for my arrogance. So now kindly tell me where and what should I do? Because where can I go? Who can I go to with my problems other than you? So you are my only shelter, my Lord. Please tell me, what should I do now? So Krishna, hearing this heartfelt plea of Lord Shiva, was very, very happy. And Krishna gave a bright smile to Lord Shiva. And he spoke to Lord Shiva by saying, listen, my dear Lord Shiva, I am giving you a very beautiful place. You live here with all of your associates and your followers. And this place is in every way as captivating as Varanasi. Besides, Krishna said, that this place is also spiritually extremely elevated, but it is not known to everybody. This place that I have designated as your residence, it lies north of my abode, which is Puri. So your place is, as I have described before, it is very beautiful, it is very charming, and one can very easily attain liberation in this place. They can derive great bliss by staying in this place. And this place will be famous as Bhuvaneshwar. So Lord Shiva, listening to the words of the Lord, he again embraced the Lord's lotus feet and began to speak, saying that, oh my Lord, my dear, you are my life. I just have one prayer, one request to you. I became falsely proud. Therefore, if I remain far away from your association, my Lord, it is very, very detrimental for me. So I'm yearning in my heart to stay close to you because I don't trust to stay away from you, my Lord. So if you truly consider me to be your servant, Lord Shiva said, that kindly allow me a place in your own Dham. And I will just stay there as your servant. And very, very humbly, I will render menial service to you. All I pray is for a little place in your Dham. And Lord Shiva, when he was speaking like this, his voice became choked with devotion and tears were coursing down his cheeks. And the Lord became very, very pleased with Lord Shiva's words. And the Lord came and personally embraced Lord Shiva. And he said, "Hear me, O Shiva." Very, very important point. This is what Krishna says now. He says, "My dear Shiva, you are very precious to me as my own body. One who is dear to you is even more dear to me. I always reside within you. There is no doubt about this. And I allow you to stay in all of my abodes. In fact, from this day onwards, you will become the protector and the maintainer of all of my dhams. And this place, known as Bhuvaneshwar, I am giving it to you. This is your abode. Stay here and make it your home. And this place is also very, very dear to me. I will be very pleased if you stay here always." So then Krishna continues to say that one who claims to be my devotee, but who disregards you, is only pretending his devotion to me. So like this, Krishna was so pleased that from that day onwards, Krishna made Lord Shiva the Kshetra, or the protector of all the dhams, the one who is protecting all of Krishna's dhams. So we see in Vrindavan, he's as Gopeshwar Mahadev. In Jagannath Puri, he is residing as Lingeshwar Mahadev. And in Puri, he is as different other Mahadevs. He is there. In Mayapur, he is there as Vriddha Shiva. So like this, Lord Shiva is there in all of the holy dhams. He is present by the Lord's desire and the Lord's mercy. He is present as the Kshetrapal. So this is how Lord Shiva became to reside in Bhuvaneshwar. And Lord Caitanya, listening to this beautiful, beautiful pastime from Lord Nityananda himself, Lord Caitanya just started dancing in front of the Lingeshwar Mahadev. He was practically demonstrating, Lord Gauranga was practically demonstrating all the instructions of Lord Krishna, which are found in the Puranas and the Vedic scriptures, that how we should actually please Lord Shiva. As Vaishnavas, when we chant and dance with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in front of Lord Shiva is the most pleased. And that's exactly what Gauranga Mahaprabhu was doing. Gauranga Mahaprabhu was clapping his hands and Gauranga Mahaprabhu was dancing and singing the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So then Lord Gauranga, he offered his worship to Lingeshwar Mahadev along with all his associates. And the Supreme Lord, who is the supreme instructing spiritual master, he, by his own example, he taught us how to worship Lord Shiva. So this beautiful temple of Sri Lingaraj is thus a very, very special temple. And every devotee who actually comes to Sri Jagannath Puri Dham, it is said that their yatra will become complete only if they visit Lingeshwar Mahadev temple in Bhuvaneshwar. And there's a very special thing that is present in this Lingeshwar Mahadev. Please listen very, very carefully. So it is a very special thing because when Lord Shiva was given this benediction by Krishna and he was ordered to stay in this abode of Bhuvaneshwar, Lord Shiva was given this abode by Krishna himself. Lord Shiva accepted it very, very gratefully. And at the same time, Lord Shiva said, "My Lord, I want you to also reside here with me." And Lord Krishna could not refuse the loving plea of Lord Shiva, and he accepted that invitation. And it is said that where Lord Shiva's Linga is worshipped, there are Shaligram Shilas that are surrounding the Shiva Linga. So the deity of Lingeshwar Mahadev is actually more famous as Hari Hara. Hari is Lord Vishnu, who is in the form of Shaligram Shilas, and Hara is Lord Shiva. So when we go there for worshipping, in fact, we were there this time when we were in India, the flower stalls that are lined outside the temple, they sell tulasi garlands as well as bale leaves, which are which are used in worshipping Lord Shiva. So we were actually very surprised that why they were giving us tulasi garlands. And but nonetheless, we just took the tulasi garland and we took the bale leaf garland and we went inside the temple, the huge temple. And the architecture is very similar to Jagannath temple in Puri. It's made out of stone, very beautiful temple, very big. And the pandas who were there, who took our worship items, they explained to us. And in fact, they actually were so merciful when they took the tulasi garland and the bale garlands from us. What they did is they went inside and they told that please watch. So then they cleared out all the tulasi garlands and they revealed to us the beautiful shaligram shilas, which are generally always covered up with the tulasi. You can't see them unless the pandas move the tulasi. There's so much tulasi that is put out around the Shiva Linga. So it's a very, very special place. So we could have darshan of the Shaligram Shilas, who is Hari, and of course the Linga, who is self-manifested, who is Hara, Lord Shiva. So Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, along with his associates and Lord Nityananda, they also went around Bhuvaneshwar visiting many other different temples. Out of that, one more very important, very beautiful, and yet not so famous temple in Bhuvaneshwar, which is right beside the Lingeshwar Mahadev temple. It's just like maybe 300-400 meters away from the Lingeshwar Mahadev temple, is Shri Ananta Vasudev temple. And inside there are beautiful deities, standing deities with hands and legs of Lord Krishna, who is Vasudeva, of Lord Balaram, who is Ananta, and of Goddess Subhadra. So the deity of Lord Balaram is standing under a 7-hooded serpent. He's standing under 7-hooded Anantashesh. And that of Lady Subhadra, she is holding a pot of jewels, like the original goddess of fortune. And Shri Krishna, he is very special. Vasudev is very special here because Krishna is holding only a gada, that is a mace, a lotus, and a conch shell. There is no chakra. Krishna in his 400 form, we know he holds Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, right? He holds the lotus, the mace, the conch shell, and Sudarshan Chakra. But here in this particular temple, only temple, that Vasudeva is Krishna is not holding the Sudarshan Chakra. And the priest, the Panda there, he explained to us that when Lord Shiva requested Krishna to also stay back here in the holy Dham, the Lord agreed to this proposal. And he said, Lord Shiva said that, my Lord, I got bewildered by, pride, by arrogance. I got bewildered. So I also need protection. And because you've told me to stay here in the city of Bhuvaneshwar, everyone residing in the city also need your divine loving protection. So how will you protect us, my Lord? Lord Shiva questioned Krishna. So then Krishna, he released his Sudarshan. Krishna released his Sudarshan and that Sudarshan became like an umbrella over the city of Bhuvaneshwar. And Krishna said that from today onwards, this city, the residents, and Lord Shiva himself is under the protection of this Sudarshan Chakra, of my Sudarshan Chakra. So therefore, in this temple of Ananta Vasudeva, Vasudeva is not holding the chakra in his hand because it is representing that the chakra is actually protecting the entire Dham of Bhuvaneshwar. And therefore, because the chakra is protecting the Dham of Bhuvaneshwar, this Bhuvaneshwar is called as Chakra Tirtha. That it is the city which is protected by the Sudarshan Chakra of the Lord. So the deities of Ananta and Vasudeva, that is Balaram and Krishna, are the same. They are like Jagannath Baladev, but they are in their human form, not in the form of Lord Jagannath. They are in their four-handed form. And there's Lady Subhadra also over there, and very beautiful. They have golden eyes. They look like, real, Lord Vishnu standing there, Lord Balaram standing there. Is very, very beautiful. So this is the temple of Ananta Vasudev in Bhuvaneshwar. And because this temple of Ananta Vasudev is considered to be like the original place where Lord Krishna manifested with his brother and sister. So therefore, even over here, the same standard as Jagannath Puri is followed in this particular temple. So the Lord is also given Chappan Bhog every day. And the same taste of the Mahaprasad can be found. That is found in Jagannath Puri. It can be found here also in this temple of Ananta Vasudeva. And Ananta Vasudeva's Mahaprasad actually goes to Lingeshwar Mahadev also. Every day Lingeshwar Mahadev eats the Mahaprasad of Ananta Vasudeva. So very, very beautiful, this place of Chakra Tirtha, Bhuvaneshwar Dham ki jai. So considering Shri Caitanya and Shri Nityananda, his life and soul, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur recites their glories in the form of this beautiful Chaitanya Bhagavata. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chandajan Brindavana Dashato Chu Pada Juge Gan. So the Phala Stuti is anyone who faithfully listens to this pastime and who derives great joy from listening to this pastime of the beautiful conversation between Lord Krishna and his dear devotee, Lord Shiva, will certainly be able to be the recipient of such loving exchanges. Such a listener will be definitely protected by the Lord and will be freed from all the negative anarthas of pride and arrogance. And they'll become perfectly happy in life and will definitely be able to see the beautiful moon-like face of Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Adya piho lila karen Shri Gaurai Kono kono bhagwan dekhi bare pai. Lord Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's pastimes are being performed even now. Whoever is blessed to see can see and others cannot see. Ekhane rohilo grantha amrita lahari badan bhore ekbar bolo hari hari. Hari Hari, Hare Krishna. So before we open up the lines, we'd like to announce the quiz questions for today. Thank you so much, Ranjani Gopika, for these beautiful quiz questions. So the first question is, name the famous lake that was created by Lord Shiva in Bhuvaneshwar. Second, what does Ashutosh mean? Third, what are the lessons Lord Krishna teaches us through the life of Lord Shiva and Pitama Bhishma? Fourth, who is a genuine Vaishnava? Fifth, why Vasudeva is not holding Chakra in Ananta Vasudev temple? Sixth, what is the Phalastuti of listening to these transcendental pastimes? Wonderful, wonderful questions, dearest Ranjani Gopika. Thank you so much. Now we can open up the lines for any questions, comments, reflections. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Prabhuji Dharvat Pranam. All glories goes to Srila Prabhupada and Vasudev. So first, thank you so much Mataji for wonderful narration. So today we enjoyed the session, thoroughly the conversation between Lord Shiva and Krishna. And before that, how do you feel now Mataji? So you're okay, right, with your pain?
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Yeah. So many lessons we learned today, Mataji. So we heard like how Lord Krishna is using his devotees, how to act and how to not act, right? So that was we understood as a life lesson. So we should not mistake Lord Shiva, like why he acted like that, right?
Correct.
And even Lord Shiva is saying like, it is you gave me the intelligence and the
Yes.
false pride as well. So he's surrendering to him, right? Surrender to Lord Outer Sweet of our Lord Krishna, right? So it is beautiful. And so this narration also very beautiful that about the Bhuvaneshwar formation Lord gave about for him, for Lord Shiva. And Bindu Sarovar also, right? He himself brought a holy river, right, Mataji? So
Yes.
So that also very blissful to hear much more. And the Shaligrama Shila is first time I'm hearing, Mataji. So when I went to 2018, but I didn't notice that because that time Lord Jagannath was immersed in Vadana, so I was feeling so sad in that mode. But I'm able to see, okay, fine, Lord Shiva, please bless me like that. Then I surrounded the temple. I'm able to see one Lord Jagannath is there. So I was so happy after seeing Lord Jagannath's deity was there. That is very, very nice to hear the story from the story. So, and also that on the Vasudeva temple also you told, right, why Lord didn't have the Sudarshan Chakra in his hand. So he's protecting the Bhuvaneshwar Dham. That's why he didn't have the Sudarshan. Yeah, it is very, very wonderful, Mataji. Very, very wonderful. And you said one more thing in between, I listen, like, so while churning the curd, the impurities will come out first and then last, finally we'll get a nectar. Na? So I remember that churning of milk ocean, right, Mataji, right?
Yes.
Halahal will come first and last will get that nectar, right? So that is coming to my mind, that one. Yeah, so we need to churn our mind, our heart also to get to realize our Lord. He's inside of us and we need to chant properly. Yeah, we'll follow that. Thank you so much. So Dandvat Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna. I do not have any other question, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. How are you?
I'm good. Radhika. Good to hear.
Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Beautiful class. Beautiful, beautiful class. I was working and I couldn't wait. I said, I have to turn it on now. I had to turn it on in the car to listen because it's the highlight of my day. I look forward so much to listening to your classes, to seeing your beautiful, beautiful lotus-like face as well. And let's tell Prabhuji we missed him.
Yes, we'll definitely tell him.
So much. I learned so much from the classes, and when I go over the questions and I like to listen again, sometimes I remember without, but sometimes I have to go back and listen. But it makes it so much nicer even the second time. So, and little Rata, she likes to listen with me.
Oh,
she loves, when you do the banjans, she loves to listen to your voice. She can be making noise and playing and she hear you and she stops and listens so intensely. She's listening
to you. That's the holy name, and that shows how pure a soul she is.
Yes.
Under the care and shelter of another loving angelic soul like yourself.
I deserve no credit, nothing at all, nothing from me. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Blessed by you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Love you.
Hare Gaura.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my obeisances. A wonderful class. Mataji, I just have one quick question.
Yes.
You said when you went there, you took tulsi leaves and bell.
Yes.
The tulsi leaves were for the Saligram Sila?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then the bell, the
Bell is for Lord Shiva Linga. So we were actually, when they were giving us the Tulasi garland, we were really surprised, why they were giving the Tulasi garland, because this is Lingeshwar Mahadev.
Right.
And, but then when we went inside, the Panda, because probably he saw that we had Vaishnav Tilak or something, he himself started talking to us and saying that, this is the place which is Harihara, Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu is residing here, that Lord Vishnu is here in the form of Shaligram. And then he was so merciful, he actually revealed Shaligram Shila. We could take darshan of Shaligram Shilas there, surrounding the Shiva Lingas. Very beautiful, very, very beautiful.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions. Please offer my obeisances to Prabhuji.
Definitely, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Sharan.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Hari Bol.
Hare.
It's a nice pastime. I haven't heard this pastime before, so maybe I should hear this again so that I can understand briefly, So nice narration. Thank you for, narrating the story of Shiva in Bhuvaneshwar. Of course, we have been to Bhuvaneshwar once, but not knowing all the glories and everything, all the stories, we just went through. And of course, visited ISKCON temple in Puri and things like that, but not know the story about Bhuvaneshwar.
Yes.
Thank you for narrating the story, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. This is all glories to Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, who very wonderfully has recorded this entire conversation between Lord Shiva and Krishna. This entire pastime is found in Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Wonderful, wonderful explanation there.
Is this narrated in Chaitanya Charitamrita?
No, it's absent in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's only there. It's not even there in Chaitanya Mangala. This is this pastime between what happens in Bhuvaneshwar is only there in Chaitanya Bhagavat. You see, because Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is more, how should I say, partial to Lord Nityananda, because, Vrindavan Das Thakur is an ardent follower of Lord Nityananda. So these places, that Sakshi Gopal or Shirchar Gopinath and Bhuvaneshwar's glories, all of these are very beautifully narrated by Lord Nityananda himself. So that's why Chaitanya Bhagavat, we find these pastimes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Matlad.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat. How are you, Mataji?
I'm doing much better by your blessings. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Good. All nice stories, Mataji. Very, very nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you
Hare
so
Krishna.
much. Hare Krishna.
We are missing Prabhuji today.
I will definitely tell him. Thank you. He will be there tomorrow. But today he could not get out of there. They had to, some emergency and some meeting. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Radhe.
Hare Krishna Di. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Pranam. Such a beautiful session. So many glories. And we were so fortunate enough that we had your association just in December last year in Jagannath Puri, and you all guided us that we have to go to Bhuvaneshwar, and we took darshan of Lingaraj temple, and you had told me that it's these pastimes. So we were about Hari and Hara and Bindu Sarovar Lake, and then also we went to that Ananta
Vasudev temple.
Yeah,
Yes.
Vasudev temple, and we took prasad in both the temples also.
Yes.
So everything was just going around. We were so fortunate and so blessed by Lord that we could do all these darshans, and obviously your divine association that you guided us so beautifully that time. So that's why, it's so important, the association of devotees.
Well,
And the
it is
guidance
your
and the
devotion that the Lord invites you to his holy dhams.
And how are you feeling?
Much better. Much better. Thank you.
And as everybody's saying, we are missing Prabhuji so much.
Yes.
We can understand his schedule. And actually, we are so fortunate enough that you are narrating these pastimes. Otherwise, Like we couldn't have never known these pastimes. And when we go after knowing these pastimes, when we visit the holy dhams, so
Yes.
actually everything changes. You're aware. You just don't go and just do darshan and just come out. Hush hush rush rush is not there.
Very
You
true.
do it with a very good understanding.
Very
And
true.
yeah, and so many places you had also taken us along. So I keep on telling everybody, like, if you go, just don't go to Jagannath temple and just go over there also, but please see other places also. They have
Yes.
equal importance, and they are also
Yes. Yes. Very true. From tomorrow, we'll start listening to the glories of Jagannath Puri that is described by Krishna himself. First, we'll listen to the glories of the Dham. From Chakra Tirtha, tomorrow we will go to Shankha Tirtha. Jagannath Puri is called as the Shankha Kshetra. Bhuvaneshwar is Chakra Kshetra and Jagannath Puri is Shankha Kshetra. So tomorrow first we'll hear the glories of Shankha Kshetra, and then with Lord Chaitanya we will enter the temple of Jagannath Puri and take darshan of Lord Jagannath
and
tomorrow.
so nicely you had. Thank you so much for all these lifetime lessons also. So much to drive from them, and they really help in the day-to-day life also. I really witness it, and it gives me a guidance also to drive messages for our own growth also. And then God is always there with Dharam, is touch only. So जहाँ वो touch और धर्म है, वहीं पे भगवान है, वहीं पे
Correct.
जीवित है.
Correct.
So beautiful.
Very true. Very true. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dee. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jai Jai.
Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Bol. Anybody else? Okay. If not, we'll meet all of you again tomorrow. We look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Namo Namaha.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda.
Vaishnavrinda ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Jai.
Hare
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Radha. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna beta. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Bol beta. Hare Bol.